your God power. Get everything you ever wanted and live the life of your dreams. The Master's Course. Copyright 2010 by Richard Lee McKim Jr. All rights reserved. Let the quest for knowing begin. You can have actual physical labels like we've seen above, or verbal labels, implied labels, or grouping labels. When you categorize something, you are labeling it. Whatever traits and meanings apply to that category, apply to that item that you have declared is in that category. Is it a winner or a loser? Is your child a genius or an idiot? Are you agile or clumsy? Many a thing or situation has been labeled poorly in jest and is greatly affected because of it. What labels do you think of when you look in the mirror? If you think fat, then your body must abide by the meaning that you have asserted by the label of fat. It must start storing even more food in order to live up to the label and the meaning that you have given it. Labels create and convey meaning. That is not a bad thing. It is just another wonderful tool that you have at your disposal. How great is it that you can create meaning as easily as labeling something? It's wonderful. I have used this technique myself on this book. Look on the front cover of this book. Down at the bottom right-hand corner, just under my name, what do you see? It is a piece of masking tape. Actually, it's a picture representation with the letters T, G, B, E, and W marked on it. That is a label I put on this book. It stands for the greatest book ever written. Notice that I use the initials and not the full words. That is because it does not matter what words are used or language or symbols. It is always the meaning that they convey, which is always your meaning. I could have even put a label on this book that says, "This book is sick." In today's slang, that means amazing. But because of its meaning and not the actual words, it still would have worked equally well. I didn't put that TGBEW label on my book because I was bragging. But instead, it was just a matter of utilizing the most powerful force that I have, my God power, to assign meaning and the power of resonance to carry it out. By labeling my book in this way, I have engaged the forces of the universe to aid me in its creation. I hereby so label this work, and thereby eliciting from the universe the best ideas and information for your greatest understanding. Ever since I placed that label on the cover, ideas have been coming to me by the hundreds. It's just a matter of organizing them and getting them all on paper. Why not label your work, hobby, life, or even yourself in a positive way? I'm a genius. Try that one on for size. You are and or will become whatever you think of yourself to be. It is a must. You will elicit whatever circumstances is necessary to create it and bring it into being. If you think of yourself as a genius, you will start noticing that you are figuring out things so easily. Great ideas are coming to mind often, and you soon begin to think and realize that you are a genius. They say, whoever they are, that it only takes 7 years to become a world expert on any subject that you please. First, you have an interest in something, be it your work or your hobby. Then, as you get into it more and more, you elicit more and more knowing and understanding about the subject until you are one of the most knowledgeable people in the world on that subject. It could have all started with a label asserted on you by a friend or family member. They might have said that you were really good at that or really talented in whatever. Then you thought of yourself in that way, and it began to elicit unto itself, and it became true. That's what affirmations are. Self-labels. I am this, or I am that, or I can do this or that, and soon it becomes true. Think of the 2 jars of rice in the picture above. Each has a label that defines the nature of the rice inside. You might say that the rice in the good jar is saying an affirmation like, I am love and I am wonderful. All things go well for me, and I expect the best always. That rice elicited the best defense against rot and was able to defend itself against attack and decay because it elicited all the best help that it needed. On the other hand, the rice in the bad jar might be saying as an affirmation, I am no good. Bad things always happen to me. I know that things aren't going to get any better for me. This jar of rice attracted rot like a magnet. It was defenseless because it was not able to elicit the help from anyone or anything to help it ward off the rot, which took it over in the end. This is all because the rice accepted the label that it was given. What if the rice consciously decided that it wasn't going to accept the labels that others have given to it? What if the rice said, I am strong and independent, and I can assert any meaning I want in my own experience, and I am great and getting better every day. Nothing can go wrong for me. If the rice in the poorly labeled jar had taken a stand for itself and used God power to assert its own meanings, it would have not only survived, but it might have even done better than the good rice that was still being controlled by outside forces and influences. But since rice doesn't have God power, sadly, it could not defend itself against the mean labels placed on it by others. However, you do have God power, and you can easily assert any great meaning for yourself that you want to, regardless of what others may say or think.
To continue, go to How to Use Your God Power, Chapter number 6, Segment number 6. Let your quest for knowing continue.